Okay, this is a rocket nose cone, about the 4th iteration. Some modifications obviously, some subtle and some maybe a little bit bigger, maybe well thicker plastic and a wider diameter to a certain extent on the outside anyway. That's why thicker plastic there. Just a second, there's some muck underneath my print, I don't know what that is. Anyway, seems to be going well. Okay, this is about a 3.5 hour print, cotton by cover. The nose cone for the rocket money box. If I say rocket engine, I have to apologise for that. I've got that in my mind. Rocket engine, if there's not a rocket engine, it's more of a spaceship, rocket spaceship shaped. This is the nose cone. Now the previous print I did a bit of sanding on it and it worked out fine. Coins go in and they stack up really good. Sometimes I need a little bit of a knock when I reach the bottom, but not very often. Just to shake them flat, so to speak. And it's working okay. Actually in use now. I might try and show you that when I'm partway through this print, I don't know. So waffle. Anyway, the bed's on 65, nozzle's on 245. This is really the first big print of this ABS blue. It's like a lightish blue, it's not deep blue. I'm printing onto this on borosilicate glass. So this is borosilicate glass on a heated bed using Elmer's Pebble washable glow stick. Okay, put some details all about that on this video if I can. I'm going to put this onto time lapse. It is a long print and I will obviously be chopping quite a bit out. There's my BL touch there, that's for doing the auto leveling. Generally you can give that big thumbs up. Another big thumbs up is the heated bed, a lot of help. Borosilicate glass gives you a nice flat surface. And Elmer's washable school glow pebble. Okay, I'm going to put this on the time lapse now. Well, it's 47 minutes into this print. Seems to be going well. Shouldn't say that because I put jinx on it. This is like a notch to line up this part with the main body of the rocket ship, so that the slot that will be in this nozzle, nose cone, I should say, will not be in line with the slot where you can view all the money piling up and piling up. Yep. So this is I think this is the first blue or lightish blue ABS I've ever printed, and I've tried PLA before and I've always had problems with curling or not sticking and numerous problems. A lot of that is because to a certain extent I've been learning what is the best surface and gradually trying to bring improvements to this printer. Came in a terrible state when I got this printer, lots of problems and not having much money, so to speak. It's been a bit of a struggle, I'll just reiterate that I am printing onto, so I've got a heat pad under here. You see like a bit of a pinkish brownish line there. Aluminium sheet on top of that. Well, that heat pad is actually stuck to the aluminium sheet. This is about the heat pad here. Really good, very helpful. Almost built to your size, your voltage, etc, etc. I'm using 24 volts on this, by the way, on the heat pad. I have two power supplies, 24 and 12 volts. The 24 volt is controlled through a solid state relay to switch on and off this heat pad. Above the aluminium sheet is a sheet of borosilicate glass. This service will cut it to size. My size, well, actually I'm not sure, I think it's 275 by 225 if I remember right. That's actual build plate size, but I can't print that size. I can print 245, maybe pushing it to 250. I take a risk 200 and 200 high. On the borosilicate glass I have some Elmer's glow stick, which I would recommend. I put that on cold when the bed's cold. Goes on purple. Wait for the colour to disappear. That colour disappears after about, say, 10-20 minutes. Then I go to print on it. Sometimes the colour comes back when the temperature comes on. Quite often I can use that Elmer's glow stick a few times. Sometimes it seems like if I leave no printing on the bed, it seems like if I'm not printing on the bed, then the stickiness seems to go off, the adhesion. I don't know, I haven't figured that out. This is the BL Touch Smart. That's for doing the auto leveling. The pin comes down all under ramp's control, same as the heat bed, that's under ramp's control. Switching on and off the solid state relay, which controls 24 volt to the heat pad there. But this is BL Touch for doing the auto leveling. The pin comes down with the servo control of the ramps and senses the level and homing, etc. So that does auto tramming. Let's see if we can see any. You might notice the Z axis here. This is the Z threaded rod moving up and down as it's actually printing. Just a slight bit to adjust for non-level. Every so often that will move up to the next layer, but that's just a small amount of layer to allow movement there, to allow for the bed not being maybe totally level, well, tilting a bit. The bed is level because I've got borosilicate glass. You might have heard it move up there actually, to the next layer I think. Got this fan shroud here, which has a fan on the right hand side on all the time. Has a fan on the left, which I would only put on for PLA, so no fan on this pad because this is ABS. There's a model of this down below, well, on this link. Using a board and feeding system, E3D version 6 clone, 0.4 nozzle on there, 245 on the nozzle temperature, 65 on the heat bed. I found that a good temperature up to now. Board and feeding system, feeding, can't really see from here, but there's a quick release belt drive system somewhere designed for that here. Probably seen some of the lights. That light at the back is for webcam, which is a normal USB webcam, which I can remotely view over the internet. Remotely view the print, make sure it hasn't come off the bed. Generally check for curling, make sure it's going somewhere as I want to a certain extent. That's using Yarcam. I'll link about that here. So at the moment this is going okay, it's stopping on the bed, no, I can't see any curling or anything like that. just now. £2 16. You can see the slot now for the pound coins to go into. One of my early ones was just, well actually it was the same size as the new pound coin, but it was too tight for a pound coin to actually fit. I'm going to show you the belt drive feeding mechanism I've designed that I'm using. It's very good. It's sort of what I would class as a quick release. Only one bolt to slacken off or undo to change the filament. I'll show you that just now. So here's the belt drive feeding system. Borden feeding to the hot end down here. In this case E3D Vagus 6 chrome, 0.4 nozzle on that. 245 on that nozzle for ABS tinting. So here's like an L nut. It's on a spring there, pressing on this plate that has a skateboard bearing, pressing on a filament. This is a hub bolt going through here. And basically you can slacken this off a bit and this unhooks. It's on like a pivot pin, unhooks and can gain access of putting new filaments. I actually have a tube feeding into my filament feeder here. There's a dragon motif on the top there, although when I printed this it never came out too well, but the feeding mechanism works great. So that's this sort of, this is just so to help you lever the flap up and down. So my spool is actually inside this box. You might just about make it out there. Quite a new spool. Well, it was brand new when I started off this print. And on this box I've got temperature gauge, hydrometer. Quite often, well nearly all the time, I'll put a moisture absorbent device in there. It's actually been dried out. We plug the mains in and that warms it up and dries out any moisture. That's what's happening with that now. So it's got like a dial for the moisture, dial for the temperatures, basically inside the box. This is not really an airproof box, but it's okay I think. Helps keep the filament dry. There's some silica bags in there as well. But as I say, normally I'll have a sort of bigger unit in there. You might see just down there's another Bowden fitting that's coming out to this tube and going to the feeding mechanism I'm using. On the right there is an older version. Okay, I'm going to pause the camera again. I'll just show you the display actually, the LCD 12864. So here's a adjustable stand SD card in there. That's one printing off an SD card in the side. Put a link about this down here. Let me turn this so you can actually see the display. So 65 on the heat bed, 245 on the nozzle. 2 hours 26 minutes into this print. No fan turned on for this ABS. This is just a cardboard box which has my ramps in, 2 power supplies, 12 volts and a 24 volt, 2 separate power supplies in there. 24 volts is for the heat bed. Under here that's controlled by the ramps that's inside here through a solid state relay, and obviously 12 volts for the rest of the printer circuitry and the fans. There's a fan up here, LED lights on the printer, etc, etc. You might just make it out I have a big-ish, well fairly, I think it's a 200mm fan there on a cardboard box. There's a piece of carbon sort of filter behind that. Well actually there's a couple of pieces. There's a HEPA filter off a old vacuum cleaner around the back of, out the back of that to try and filter any particles that might come off the prints. Okay, I'm going to pause the print just now. Well, sorry, pause, not the print, pause the video just now. I'll come back in about half an hour, I think. Three and a quarter hours into this print now. Probably about another half hour or so to go, I think. Maybe a bit longer. Looks okay, looks very nice actually. Shouldn't say that because you put jinx on it. You know, something will go wrong. No. I'm pleased. This is a blue ABS. Printing at 245 on the nozzle, E3D version 6 clone, 0.4 nozzle. Heat bed here is set to 65, just reiterating that. Borosilicate glass which has Elmer's disappearing purple glue stick put on it. I found that Elmer's glue stick is very good. Really, it's the only time I can remember anyway that I didn't get any curl once I started using the Elmer's disappearing glue stick. So put that on when it's cold, the bed. Let it, the colour disappears, goes on purple, it sort of disappears, the colour. Once that's done I start printing. Now when I start printing the bed warms up and sometimes the colour comes back, but it's okay. Sometimes I can use it 2 or 3 times. As I say, I haven't figured it out that sometimes I think if I say like here, see there's a big area not being printed on, that's probably okay for the next print, but if I leave it too long I think it doesn't want to print on it. I haven't figured that out, I'll be honest with that. So there's a slot for the new UK pound coins, a bit of a notch so you can put that on really only one way. That's why I put it on one way on the main like rocket ship body. As I know, the noise sounds a bit like a scraping, rattling noise sometimes. Just a second. When his head moves a bit quicker, I think. See that a bit of buzzing. I think that's recirculating balls in the linear bearings on this sort of carriage up here. We've got linear bearings, and there I have a row of balls that sort of actually not only turn in themselves possibly, but actually rotate like in a channel. You can see the other fan on this two fan system. I usually put a line of, well, I've got a line of Tippex on both fans. That helps me see that, well, in this case it's not turning, so that fan actually blows round here, like a channel round here, and round, it's like almost a ring, gap round the bottom, and blows all round the print if I'm printing PLA. Possibly, most likely want that on. Usually about 50%, maybe even 30% is enough, I think. It does have another fan there that's on all the time, that's blowing across the fins of the E3D version 6, and there's like gaps on both sides of this shroud here for the air to blow out. You can feel a bit of warmth there. This is the BL Touch for doing the auto leveling and tramming. It's nice when a print goes well. I must admit I like the look of this, I like the look of the colour. I was hoping for a little bit darker blue. I'm just getting out some so I can show you. This is the colour I was hoping for. This is a bit lighter, just said blue. Didn't really say whether it was dark or light. When I'm looking at this, it looks very nice. Actually, the LCD 12864 is more of the darker blue. This design here for the adjustable stand, you move about and usually stop in the position you put it in. That's a darker blue, and this is a bit lighter blue than that. So you see my webcam over there, like a Angel Eye light or something, 12 volt system for a car, I think, down that to shine light on part from the other side. So I'm able to view remotely over the internet on a mobile phone, whatever, just like put a website address and I can see what's happening by using this software here, Yarcam or Yarcam, I'm not, yet another webcam software, something that stands for. Put some details here of Yarcam, very good for remotely viewing. That's all it does. Well, it does do more. You can have motion sensing and ask other people to join in and stuff like that if you want to do team webcams or something. But it doesn't have any control over the printer, this webcam, well, or anything like that. It's just really for streaming the video, for viewing it while it's printing. Make sure the part doesn't fall over, doesn't go elsewhere and leave it. Okay, I'm going to come back when this is finished printing, I think. Well, I will come back when it's finished, but I can't see me coming back before that. Well, that was 3 hours 36 minutes. Just a very fine string on the top. Now the bed's had time to cool down. It's on 32. I wait until the bed's cooled down. Still got quite a bit of, well, adhesion there. Not too bad. It's inside. See that? Hard to get the lighting just right to see inside here. there's a slot for pound coins and a notch. I'll show you the previous model, which the coins were sticking just as I went down past the joint because there's some tabs to join on, and the top was a little bit tight, squeezing. So this is a new model, well, the new cone. These are the previous one, and this part was a little bit tight around these tabs. Actually broke one of them off. I did weld it sort of back on with some acetone because this is ABS. So that's what the notch is for. So see the little notch there that you put on a certain way around so that the slot is away from this. This is so that you can see all the money you're putting in. Oh, this is working now. It was originally sticking, the pound coins were sticking just as I went past those tabs because they were squeezing a bit, both sanding and one thing and another. And you might see that they do sort of lay flat, generally speaking. Sometimes I might need a bit of a knock, a tap or whatever. But the new design should avoid this top part being too tight at all and squeezing those tabs in, hopefully, I say. And like the marker here isn't even enough £10, so I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pound going up to there. Let me try a pound coin in this one because I know what things are like sometimes. Yeah, you get just right, and let me lift it up. Yep, that goes down and goes through okay. Just a very small string in there. I think there's only that very fine, couple of fine, very small ones. So you see inside a bit there. Yep, that's good. Let me try and put that on. It gets quite heavy, this, once you put money in. Something you might want to consider. So you can see that that one, this new one, is a little bit bigger, wider than this old one. So obviously the base unit, the body unit, which I'll be printing out next, same colour, same filament, blue ABS, should match that. And when you've got your money saved up, you can go and spend it all. So that will take £50, possibly a bit more. There's a bit of a gap up there, but then it wants some gap for the coin to sort of like turn as it's going in and going down. So there you are. That's it'll look almost the same as this one when it's finished. It'll look better in blue actually.